I swear I saw it. It's not no stingray.
Yeah, that's a stingray. A freshwater stingray.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I used to have one of these Linus. Remember?
Didn't he get
Hey, look.
bit?
No, I remember.
Okay, is there popcorn in here?
Yeah, those are Paku, I think, over there. Yeah, these are big Paku. This tank's awfully empty. They have a big arowana.
What's that clown?
How nice fish is that? Big Paku. Yeah.
Not a ton, but like.
Look at that giant Luteus pleco. $2,000. Welcome back, everyone. As you guys may have seen one of the previous videos, this is part 2 to the video where I discuss what I was going to do with the 55. And in that video, I said that I am going to be rehoming all the tropical fish, or at least all the fish that are not cold water tolerant, and rehoming them to Gerber's Tropical Fish in Dayton, Ohio. Because they tend to give more store credit and will actually take stuff in more often. So I did that all today, got $50 in store credit, and in exchange I got 2 new fish. They did have a few cold water and a few native stuff. However, what they had, I didn't really necessarily want to get today. I ended up settling on some saltwater fish, one of which is actually in freshwater at the moment without acclimate the salt. So yeah, also, before I get to that, I don't know if you saw in the beginning of the video, I took some clips there. They had some really cool stuff, and some stuff that I think is cool, but at the same time, it can be questionable for them being in there, and that was the Arapaima. They had a big, decent-sized Arapaima for like $200-300 that they had in a couple tanks down. In a smaller tank, they had even smaller baby Arapaima for like $100 or $200. So if you're in Ohio or somewhere close to Dayton, Ohio, and you want Arapaima and you can ethically house them, then, I mean, they have some in stock. And also, I did want to say, no matter how many times I try, I can never seem to make an actual tour video at Gerber's. I only ever really end up taking a few clips in like the first section, and I end up getting distracted and just by like looking at all the stuff, and I just end up forgetting to record there. So someday I would like to try to make an actual tour video instead of just showing off the first aisle. Although the first aisle often it has a big monster fish on the side, and it has some cooler, rarer stuff sometimes. But anyways, they had Glossamania wichamani, I believe, aka the golden freshwater cardinal fish, or they sold them as Asian perch, but they're a type of freshwater cardinal fish from Papua New Guinea. I think it was $100 or so a piece, and they had 2, and they were brought into the hobby by this guy named Wesley Wang or Wesley Wong. Sorry, I forget exact name. He goes by Fugu Puff on Instagram. They had a Caribbean spiny lobster for $100. They had 2 big orbicular batfish, not big, but that were decent sized ones. They also had a big, giant Colombian shark, which I may have got something like that. The point is, they had a lot of cool stuff. Without further ado, let me show you what I got. And also, first off, the 55 is looking awfully empty. We still got my Chinese hyperband shark, the 3 central stone rollers. We also have the 1 striped shiner. The green sunfish is in here, at least for now. Especially when he gets bigger and possibly more aggressive. Look at that. I might end up rehoming it because I would like to have like a big schools of rainbow shiners and mountain red-bellied ace and all sorts of cool little schools of minnows in here. But I'm concerned about this guy being too aggressive. Same with the crayfish, possibly. I might want to rehome that in the future. The 2 stonecat mantoms still in here. Where's the other one at? There's the newer one. We also have the margin maton. And we also kept the little Chinese algae eater. Hoping sometime soon this week or within the next few days or weeks I can go out and collect some more natives and stuff for this tank. But yeah, I just wanted to show you how it's looking. Show you what I got now. So I got 2 new fish. One of them's already in saltwater. The other is in freshwater currently that I'm going to acclimate to saltwater. And the one in freshwater, I kind of hinted to what is. I've owned one before. Got these 2 fish together for 50. The first fish, the one that I've already owned before, and it's in fresh, so I'm going to acclimate the salt, is a Colombian shark. As I kind of hinted to the start of the video, when I mentioned that they had a giant one, I was hinting that I got one. Yeah, so they're a type of sea catfish. They can be kept in freshwater, especially as juveniles, brackish water, and then saltwater. The owner, John Gerber, who's helping me out today, he said that even the juveniles can go in saltwater. So I'm going to acclimate this guy to salt. He said they can grow fairly fast though, and they can get huge, as I saw there. They had like a giant one, but it's still going to be cool to own while I grow it out. And also, this is one of the few saltwater catfish you can actually somewhat commonly find for sale in the aquarium trade. Next fish, I've never owned before. Full salt, they grow fairly slow, but they can get maybe up to a foot or so. And this is it was sold as a red soapfish, but I think it might be a white spotted soapfish because red soapfish don't really look like this. They had 3 in stock. I asked for the bigger one and more uniquely patterned one, which is this. And what's really cool is that these guys are like a miniature grouper. It's from the Atlantic Ocean, which I'm trying to primarily keep Atlantic fish, because that's what I'd like to keep primarily. He doesn't get giant like a lot of groupers, and this wasn't expensive even with the deal we did. So, and apparently I think he also said they're pretty hardy and they eat well. So, and I've always wanted a grouper. 2 new fish. One of them is new to me. The other is not new to me, but I haven't owned one in a while. So we're gonna go get these guys temperature acclimated into this tank, and then eventually get both of them parameter acclimated. Also, recently got an order from Foxy Tropical Fish. They go out and collect saltwater fish in the Caribbean. I made a video unboxing them and acclimating them, and I'm gonna give a quick update. The baby pork fish is doing good. He already started eating a bit yesterday. He's gonna be growing out in the 20-gallon Chesapeake Bay Oyster Reef Biotope Aquarium, temporarily as a grow out. I also added it in a heater to heat the tank. So he's doing good. And luckily the Sergeant Major pulled around and has been doing good. It actually started eating yesterday too. But anyways, that's a quick update on the 2 new fish from Foxy Tropicals, and then time to get these guys acclimated. Start to get these guys acclimated. Okay, it is time to get the fish into the tank. I've been acclimating them for, I'd say, 20 minutes to half an hour by now or so, I'd say, roughly. And if you guys are wondering, a good way that I use to acclimate is take water from the tank and then put it in whatever amount you'd like, and you do like a scoop or 2, and then you take a decent scoop of water from the bucket and put into the tank, and then get more water from the tank, and vice versa. I use this tactic mainly for saltwater and even like when acclimating stuff to saltwater or brackish, especially if it's a fish that was in freshwater like this Colombian shark. But yeah. Okay, now I'm netted. Hopefully none of the damsels mess with it too much. The Bew Gregory will probably go after it at first. Also hoping none of the toadfish mess with it either. I doubt the horseshoe crab was trying to mess with it. I think it was just looking around at it or investigating it. There's the Bew Gregory trying to assert its dominance. Eventually the Sergeant Major will get bigger and should be dominant over the Bew Gregory. Okay, now for what was sold as red soapfish, presumably white spotted soapfish. Time to get this guy in the tank. And yet again, there's a chance the Bute Gregory and the damsels might mess with it at first to assert dominance. Yep. But also, I definitely would like to get more PVC pipe and live rock to make more hides and hiding spots for these guys soon. Looks like the Bute Gregory is kind of messing with the soapfish and Columbian shark at first to assert dominance. But that soapfish is eventually going to get way bigger than the Bute Gregory. I think the Bute Gregory is about full grown, or at least almost full grown. Also, I don't know what this behavior is. It's like the Bute Gregory is like it's like marking its scent on the soapfish. Like, you know how dogs pee on a pole or something to mark their territory? The Bute Gregory is like rubbing on the soapfish, its tail and stuff. And also the Columbian shark will eventually get a lot bigger than the Bute Gregory too. I think the 37-ounce saltwater tank for now is kind of maxed out and good on stocking. If I come across something that I'd like for this tank, then I might get it for this tank. Also, I don't know if I mentioned, I got 2 turbo snails. They've been helping out with the algae. But anyways, so yeah. And comment down below any native fish and cold water fish suggestions you have for the 55 gallon. I prefer it to be US natives, but I'm fine with it being other cold water fish. Some stuff that I would really like to get is a big school of rainbow shiners, big school of mountain red-bellied ace and southern red-bellied ace and stuff, some sort of creek chub or river chub, just all sorts of cool native fish and cold water fish. And yeah, so if you have any good suggestions, let me know. But that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe. And see you all guys in the next video. Peace.